back to another beer review here on Best Beers in Me, Maine Beer Reviews, or beer reviews from Maine, New England, and beyond. I'll get that after a while. It's catchy in my head, but I don't know. Today we're going to review, probably not the most exciting beer to talk about, Bissell Brothers Precept. Is their German-style Pilsner. Now, it may not be all that exciting, but it's a great beer. And they didn't put the canned-on date on this one, which they usually do.
Yeah, that's unusual for them.
Yeah, and geez, some beer reviewers would take away points just for that. Now, I know that it's not that old because I got it myself here not too long ago right from the source. But nothing, that's a fail, Bissell. Come on now. 5.6% ABV on this German Pils. Let's see what they say. Bissell says it's our German-style Pilsner brewed with 100% Maine-grown Pilsner malt, fermented with our house lager yeast and conditioned at near freezing temperatures in a traditional horizontal vessel for 5 weeks. Not a whole lot to say about it, probably not a whole lot to talk about. However, it's a delicious beer, believe me.
I can tell you it's good. I wasn't a beer drinker until I tried craft beers, and then I wasn't drinking beer tasting beers, but this is a good beer.
A beer tasting beer.
A beer tasting beer. No.
And now you like lagers and pilsners.
I do. It was an acquired taste for me, but I do.
And that was a quick run for you to go from not liking beer to sours, and then you're like, let me smell that IPA.
I actually started out on ciders.
Ciders, twisted teas.
Yeah, ciders
and then you're
sours.
Like, nah, I don't drink those lagers. And now you drink them all.
Right.
So, let's see what we got on the nose. Little hop sweetness. Malty for sure. What about you? Getting anything back there? You don't get a ton on this.
Not a ton on the nose.
Anything in specific?
No, a little bit of a sweetness, maybe a little floral.
Oops, I'm trying to jump the gun. I am thirsty.
Maybe a little floral, like some floral
Yeah.
notes or a light sweetness, but there's nothing big on the nose on this.
Well, let's dive into it. Cheers.
Cheers.
I'm telling you what, every time I have that, it gets better and better. So they started their lager program a little later on than when they started brewing, but it's become more and more like...
That's our dog, Bissell.
Alright. So what do you got? So after the interruption by our dog, who's named Bissell, we're back to tasting the beer.
I get a little bit of bitterness.
There is some bitterness for sure.
Yep.
On this beer on the back.
And you know, to be honest, based on the look of it, as light as it looks, it's more of a medium body. It's a little bit thicker than what you would think. Not quite as thin of a beer as what you would think to look at it in the glass.
Because it does look like a nice, crisp, thin beer, but there's a little something to it. So I gotta say, when I go to Bissell Brothers, we go to Milo all the time. And the first beer I'll get if it's on draft is right here. I always start with the Precept, just because I love it. And then on Oktoberfest, they were giving out 32-ounce pours, which might have been a mistake by them. Just gonna say.
Right?
By the end of the night, I think Peter Bissell was ready to throw me out of the brewery.
That was a fun time. Good beer,
Although
good friends.
I ain't gonna say what I think about. He might have been a little drunk, maybe.
Everybody was just having a good time.
It was a blast.
It was a fun time.
32-ounce pours. I had, what did I have? Precept. I had their fast beer. And one other. I had 3 of their lagers and 32 ounce. I'm like, alright, that's probably enough for me. But man, were they good.
You can't go wrong going to Milo, though. Great staff, great place, the atmosphere.
And that's why I'm reviewing this beer, because eventually I'll probably review every Bissell beer because, well, I'm a fanboy. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to hide it. Don't care. Other guys out on YouTube are huge fanboys of like Treehouse. You may like them a little.
I'm a big Treehouse fan, but I love Bissell.
Some guys out there love Trilliums. I don't know. Treehouse, I see more people liking Treehouse on YouTube, I think, than any brewer. And you love them.
I love Treehouse.
Me, I like my Bissell. If there's a battle, I'll go with Bissell. You can go down to Canton, Mass, or no, that's Trillium. Where's Treehouse from? I don't know. Out there in Western Mass, somewhere towards Connecticut.
My Treehouse, I get that.
We've been there.
I get that candied, fruity, like, on those. They're a good beer.
You love them. But we're talking about Bissell right now.
I really don't know that I've met a Bissell beer that I didn't like. They're pretty solid.
There's been one that I didn't, out of all of them.
No, I think that was the same one that I didn't care for.
Was it the sour?
Yes.
Yeah, there was one sour that we didn't like, but we'll get to that in time. Let's check out the old Untapped and get this one done, huh? 5,800 check-ins. They gave it a 3.74. Not too bad for a Pilsner. Pilsners don't score that high on Untapped. People just don't seem to respect the style. I do, but, that's me. We got 12 friends on Untapped that have rated this beer at a 3.97, so props to my friends list on Untapped. That's best beers in me, if you want to add us. And I've checked into this beer 17 times, so that'll be 18 after this review. And I have been giving it a 4.50.
I was just going to say, so based on the style of beer, if you're putting it into a category, I would give it a 4.50.
But today, I'm going to give it a 2. No, I'm not. 4.5 sounds good. Not that my rankings matter anyway, but anyway, it's Bissell Precept. If you ever get a chance and you like Pilsners, and you like German-style Pilsners, check that one out. It's a good one. Cheers.
Cheers.